So it must be one of the most hotly debated questions in gender relations you can find on the internet. Can men and women be friends, or can men and women be just friends? And if you look that up online, you will find millions of discussions about this. Probably with a lot of people hating on each other and people not being very friendly in general. But yeah, that's the internet. But I think that like there's some people who say that like why not? What's the problem? And I have a lot of friends from the other sect, and there are also people who say yeah, it can be awkward. And the intention of today's video is certainly not to give an answer to that question in general, but it's very interesting. Like when I grew up in school, I never really I never really spent time socially with women. So I was this awkward autistic guy, kid in general. But also a part of that, I just had no shared interests or whatever with them. So it's like awkward. And yeah, of course, this whole puberty thing is awkward in general. And everyone has hormones. And yeah, it's just I think some guys, like there was this guy in my class who had a nickname. He was nicknamed by one of my teachers. He was nicknamed Ladies Guy or something, or Lady Guy or whatever. And there were always women hanging around him. And they weren't necessarily like attracted to him, but he was just really, really good with women. And he wasn't like particularly feminine or anything, because that can help if you're a bit on the feminine side as a guy. Or if you're gay, of course, or whatever inclination that might make it a little easier than normal. But for me, it generally wasn't easy, and I think also didn't really particularly care a lot. But what's very interesting is that what I've seen in my relations, in social relations, ever since I started dancing tango, which is now 11 years ago, I have actually built a lot of friendships and acquaintances with women, especially. So in general, like I do know I do know guys in tango, and I'm friends with guys as well. But like when I go to a milonga, like my focus is always on the women, and the women's focus is on me. And that's because we are each other's markets. So I'm a leader, and I like dancing with women of a good level, and it just becomes so natural for you to also be mostly focused on these women in a social sense, because these are the people you spend the most time with. And I also always like hanging out in the milongas with whatever person that I see and that I enjoy talking with. But I think it's been very enriching in my life that tango has allowed me to really see some things from a different perspective, because I talk a lot with women, and it's just very natural, just like it was natural in my school years to hang around men, other guys, because we were more similar to each other, and it was not so awkward. And in tango, in a sense, it's like we are similar because we are each other's like attracting opposites in a way. And I sometimes I might think someone is attractive, but in general I have very good, like very normal friendships with women, and it's all thanks to tango. And I have to say, maybe like maybe I'm also a bit more capable than most men of having good conversations with women. I don't know, maybe I'm more feminine myself, I don't know. But it's just a very interesting contrast, like the before and after of learning to dance tango. And I came up with this topic because today I had a private lesson with a teacher who's a woman, and that I'm also friends with. And actually, so she was called by a mutual friend for like a practical question, and then this woman who called is a friend of mine, and she found out that I was having this lesson, and then she said, like, why don't you come over to my house and check out my new house, because she's been living there for I think almost a year or something. Well, it doesn't matter, but I have never actually visited that place because I live in another city. But it's just really nice, and you know, I ate some bread there, and I saw the house and the garden, and it's just like you feel a certain kind of warmth in tango in general with people, because I feel like it's nice that we're so connected with each other. Um, but in this case, I went with her to an open air milonga, and there were also some women there I know, and yeah, I just end up talking with them more for some reason. But like I said, I'm repeating myself, but I think it's just you have more affinity if you're a dancer. You have more affinity with your target audience. And then even though I do try to balance that a bit, so that I'm not only talking with women, not only talking with people I dance with, it's just, yes, a very interesting observations as far as like the many ways tango can enrich your life. And the same for Argentina, like mostly no women. So yeah, it's and I see around me, I see like a lot of people moving in friend groups, and they have like you know, their couples, and then they interact with other couples. But I think we're in this like little microcosm, cosmos, whatever the English is, that you know just allows us to live in ways that are a bit different than usual. And yes, I very much enjoy that, because, for example, when I go to the gym, there's mostly guys there, and I almost never talk with women, and I don't really care either. Like, it's not my type of conversation anyway. But with these guys, when I meet them, it's more like this typical culture, a bit macho culture type of thing I grew up with in high school, and yeah, it's different. But that's probably how it goes usually. Maybe if you're yeah, it might be if you have a certain job and there are a lot of women working there, like at a government administration or whatever. I know a guy who works with a lot of women. Maybe then it's also easy, but it's just that tango is very nice. Yeah, uh, opportunity for exploring your horizons a bit, and getting to know this beautiful other side of life, of this other sex that experiences things in different ways.